Today we are going to discuss about Jenkins. Okay, you might have heard about this word. So Jenkins is not a tool. Okay, it's a framework. So why we use Jenkins? A CI/CD tool. For the purpose of CI/CD, we'll use Jenkins. Okay. So what do you mean by CI/CD? What is the exact meaning of CI/CD? Any guesses? Continuous integration and continuous delivery, also called as deployment. Delivery is different and deployment is different. So D stands for, we can use deployment and also we can use it for delivery as well. Okay. Why we use Docker? So Docker is used for containerization purpose. Why we use Ansible? Come on, what is the use of Ansible, guys? Ansible is a configuration management tool. So if you install Ansible in one server, you can do whatever you want in all the connected nodes from the server only. Okay. So that is the use of Ansible on an overall. How we'll do it, that is different story. With the help of playbooks, we will do all those activities. Here CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery. So Jenkins will be used as a CI/CD tool. Okay. So if we look at the project architecture or the software development life cycle, basically it will look like this. Okay, so these are the developers. Okay, so these are the developers, multiple developers will work and they will push their code to where they will push the code to Git bucket. So they will add, they will commit, they will push and they will commit. Okay, so multiple developers work on a project and once they are done with their work, they will push the code, they will commit the code to the Git. Okay. Let's assume these are their EC2 machines or local machines. First, they will work here. Okay, so they will work on their local machines, and once their work is done, this is the GitHub. Okay, this is the GitHub central repository. So once they're done with their project work, so they will push the code and they will commit to the GitHub. Okay, so here you will be having all the codes. Okay. Okay, so with the help of Git commands, Git will maintain all our source code in the GitHub. Okay, once this is done, so there will be one centralized hub. Okay, this is nothing but Jenkins. This is Jenkins. What it is? This is GitHub or any SVN. SVN stands for subversion or superversion. Any tools, version control tools, version management tools. Okay, so this is Jenkins. So as soon as the code is committed in the GitHub, what this Jenkins will do is automatically it will pull that code. Okay, so automatically it will pull the code. Okay, so then what it will do is it will send that code to Maven. It will send that code to Maven. Maven. What is Maven? Maven is a build tool. Okay, so once the code is available in the GitHub, Jenkins will automatically pull that code and it will send that code to Maven for the build purpose. Build in the sense, so now if you want to install something, install any software in your machine, in which format you are getting? You have downloaded something in your laptop for an application installment. Are you getting the programs? Or so software is nothing but a collection of programs only. Yes or no? Are you following or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
A software. What is a software? First of all, a software is
Collection
a
of
collection of
us.
programs. What is a program? Whatever we have written in the playbook, that is a program only. Okay, that is an Ansible program. Like that C program, Java program, everything is a program. What is a program? A program is a collection of instructions. Whatever the instructions you wanted to give as part of that software development, you will divide that into different modules. And in each module, again, you will divide into in individual programs. And each program will do a separate task. You will mention that instructions in that one. Okay. So what you will do? You are not going to give all the programs to the customer whoever want to utilize them individually, right? You will group together, you will build as one executable file. It could be a .exe file, or it could be a var file, or it could be a EAR file. It could be anything. The customer will not understand it. They don't know how to execute that, right? If you give any playbook to the customer to perform some task, is the customer able to know how to execute that playbook and all those things? No. What he needs is he wants to double click and he wants to do it in a very simpler way. He don't want to go to some place and set the settings. All those things customer is not having enough knowledge, right? The customer itself is having that much knowledge. Why will he reach out to the software companies for building their softwares? They will do on their own, right? So what in which format we have to give is we have to group together, and we that process is called as build process. We have to group and we have to give one executable file in the form of var file, or in the format of EF file, or in the format any bat file or exe file, could be anything. So grouping all the programs together, all the code together, and making it as one executable file is called build process. Is this clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what in the part of build, what will happen is it will compile each and every program, and if there are any errors occurred, the build will fails, and again it will come back to the developer, and the developer has to fix the issues, and again it will go to the Jenkins, and again it will be given to the Maven for the build purpose. If everything is compiled successfully, then the build process will also be complete successfully. Once the build process is done, it will give that build to Jenkins again. Okay. Yeah. After that, okay, build is completed. Then the QA people, a unit testing will be done. So here unit testing will be done by the developer only. There are different types of testings are there. Unit testing, UAT, SAT. Okay. So white box testing, black box testing, regression testing. These are the different terms which are available in the testing. At the end, everyone what they will do is the names could be different, but the main goal is to that the main goal of the testing is to test whether the developed application by the developer is working as per the customer needs or not. Whoever checking this, checking these things, that means whoever performing these things, whoever performing these tasks, whoever performing this testing are called the testers. Okay. So once this build is done, so the testers will not look at the code. Okay. Testers will not open and what is there inside it. They will not look at the code, and they don't know in which code they have developed, in which language they have developed. That is not required. What they required is, okay, if I do this, what would be the expected output? If I enter login information incorrectly, what would be the messages I should get? So these kind of things, they know functionally what the application should be. Okay, based on that only, they will test the scenarios. In order to test the Facebook application, do you need the PHP language fundamentals? Facebook is developed in PHP language. If you want to test the Facebook, do you really need PHP knowledge?
No, sir.
So you know how to. They will give you the application. Once the application is given to you, Facebook application is given to you. What is the primary thing? If you open the URL, Facebook should be opened. That is the information you should have. If you enter the username and password, it should redirect to your account. That is the second condition. If you enter the wrong username and the password, it should show from error rather than redirecting to the respective account. This is the third condition. You will enter and you will see the result. If the result is not accurate, I mean, if you are not getting the expected result, then you will report that as a bug. This is what the testers will do. In order to do such things, do we really require any coding knowledge? No. So here, once the build is completed, so the Jenkins, it will again come back to the Jenkins, and the what the Jenkins will do is Jenkins will direct this to testing, automated testing. That is nothing but JUnit or Selenium. Okay. So here, testing phase. JUnit and Selenium. So these are used for unit testing purpose by the testers. Okay. To test the deliver application. Once the testing is done, this will be again come back to the Jenkins. So if everything is ready, this will be given to QA. So QA is stands for quality assurance. They will monitor whether the performance is right, whether they have followed all the security measures or not. Oh, 1 second, guys. Yeah. So here, once the testing is completed, so it will go for again Jenkins, and the Jenkins will this time redirect it to quality assurance team. This quality assurance team will make sure that okay, the application is with is following all the standards, all the security measures are completed or not. Okay, so are there any performance related issue? Is there anything could be done in order to improve the quality? All these checks will be done. So this will be an automated task only. There is a tool called checkstyle is one of the tool. This will be used for the QA purpose. Okay. So here, QA. Okay, QA. So once everything is done, then what this Jenkins will do is it will deliver or deploy. Deliver in the sense you will give this to client. Okay, you will deliver this build to client so that client will deploy and client will do their own testing and everything. So deploy in the sense client don't know how to deploy and everything. So what you will do is you will deploy the same thing in the client machines. That is called the deployment. Okay. So here here is the client. Okay, here is the client. So if you directly give it to the client, then that is called as a delivery. Okay, you are delivering the requested product to the client. This is delivery. If you deploy the same thing on your client machines, then that is called deployment. Okay, these are client servers you will deploy. Okay, so here, what is the centralized hub which will be? I mean, all the tasks are managed by one thing. Which tool is going to manage all the tools? Hello. Hello. Here, which tool is organizing all the activities from development to delivery? Hello. Am I audible or not, guys?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
audible.
Here, which tool is involving in each and every activity to organize the things?
Jenkins, sir.
So here, Jenkins. This is called. development phase. This is called build phase. This is test phase. This is QA. And this is delivery and deployment. So all these are phases, different phases of SDLCE. Yes or no? So in the demo, I have clearly said there are different phases in the software development life cycle. What are the different phases as part of SDLCE? If you forget requirement and analysis, whatever the remaining steps? Development. Once the development is done, we have to build. Then it has to be tested, and it has to go through QA, and it has to delivery and deployment, and after that monitoring. Once it is on client servers, it will be monitored. The application will be monitored automatically. For that purpose, we'll use Nagios and the CloudWatch tools. Okay, so here in the SDLC model, all the steps are connected to this Jenkins or not? Starting from the development to delivery and deployment. So everything is managed by Jenkins only. So if you want to integrate this Maven with the Jenkins, you need to open this. Jenkins will be having lot of plugins. Okay, so Jenkins will have lot of plugins. Through those plugins only, it will be integrated to different tools. So here Maven is integrated to Jenkins. How? Here one plugin is available in Jenkins. Okay, by default it will come with all the plugins, and if you want your own plugins, you can write on your own with the help of Java or Groovy. Okay, so but that is not required, and whatever the default plugins are available, with the help of those plugins only you can integrate with the different tools. Here Jenkins will have a lot of plugins, and with those plugins it will be integrated to all the DevOps tools. Okay, if you don't want to do this automatically, okay, so here as soon as the code is available to the GitHub, the Jenkins will pull that and it will give to the build. This will done in an automatic way. If you don't want to do this automatically, you can unplug this Maven. You don't need to plug in this Maven to the Jenkins. If you want to do that build manually, then you have to unplug here, so that once the code is ready, you have to build that and you have to give that information to the Jenkins, so that the Jenkins will take care of remaining testing, QA, and the deployment. Like that, based on the company and different organizations will follow different flow. So some people will do build manually. Okay, some people will connect the build part to the Jenkins as well. So it depends on the company and it depends on the project. Okay, here what is continuous integration, guys? So this is development stage. Okay, I'm just writing the steps here. Okay, this is step number 1. This is 2. This is 3. Okay, this is 4. So considering all these things, okay, So here, okay, so this part is called as continuous integration. Okay, so whenever developer makes any changes, it will go to GitHub and then Jenkins, and the build will complete it, and the testing will also be completed, and QA will also be done. Again, if again any more changes are done, automatically then this Jenkins will trigger those changes, and it will get the changes. All remaining steps will be done automatically. So all these steps are how these are doing in an automatic way, and these are not waiting for any manual intervention, right? So once the code is completed, the remaining steps will be done automatically. Automatically in the sense there is no dependency. Okay, so here the development and the build and the test and the QA, everything is happening without any hassles. Okay, so in the waterfall model, what will happen? So once one step has to completed, after that there will be a window for QA. After that, so remaining steps needs to be taken care one after other. So in the agile methodology, what will happen? All these things will happen parallelly. Okay, developer will do the developer work. Once the developer is completed its work, he will focus on the remaining set of work that he needs to be complete. He no need to wait for this build test and all those things. So everybody will be doing their own job once the respective task is over. Okay, so this process is called as continuous integration. Okay, so if you add this deployment and delivery to this continuous integration, then combining all these things, this 1 2 3 4 and this one is 5. Okay, so this one is 5. So here 1 2 3 4 is called as continuous integration. Adding 5 to the remaining 4 steps is also called as continuous delivery. Any doubts, guys, as of now?
No, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So So this integration can be done in 3 ways, guys. Okay, one integration we can do manually. So if the Jenkins, if the centralized tool is not there, how to do all these things once the GitHub, the code is available in the GitHub. How to do the build manually? We have to build. After that, how to test it? We have to manually test. So all these things can be done manually also before all these tools are available. So we used to do all these things manually only. This is the old approach. After that, some scripts came into the market. We can write some shell scripts, we can write some Python scripts. In the scripts, whatever this tool will do, that we used to write in the form of some scripts, some automation work we used to develop one program. That program will monitor is there any code available in the GitHub or not. It will be continuously running in the background. Those scripts we have to write. Okay, so we can do this integration with the help of we can do this manually, we can do this with the help of scripts by, and also we can use by tools called Jenkins. Okay, we can do the integration in 3 ways. One is manually, and second one is the scripts, and the third one is with the help of tools like Jenkins. What is the use of tool, guys? The tool will be having, what is the benefits of these tools? Because these are well tested tools, the chances of getting errors if we use these tools is very minimal, zero, almost zero. Okay, and if there are any bugs are identified during this process in the delivery or in the build, so that will be detected automatically while building our project. While completing the build process, if there are any errors occurred, it will be automatically detected. We no need to monitor it. Okay, once we submit the code for the build purpose, if there are any errors occurred, that will be detected automatically. Okay, so this is one more advantage. And one more thing is, we can maintain the history in the Jenkins. History in the sense, how many times the build process has completed. Let's say 10 times the code has been committed to the GitHub. How many times it will go for build? 10 times. Each time it detects, it will send for the build purpose. So each time it will maintain the history. How many times the build has completed, how many times it has failed, and each time what was the source code considered for the build purpose, what are the changes considered for the build purpose. All these details are available in the Jenkins. If we do it manually, do we it how can we achieve the same thing? How can we maintain the history if we do it manually? We need to write it somewhere. We have to maintain the documentation on our own, because there is no automated process and we are doing it manually. Whenever you are doing it manually, you need to maintain some checklists. In that checklist or in the document, you have to maintain. So what is considered for the build? What changes are considered for the build? Whether the build is successful or failure. If it fails, what are the errors? All these things we have to maintain manually. But if you go with the tools like Jenkins, everything will be monitored by the tool and everything will be maintained by the tool only. It is easy or hard? If we go with automated approach, it will be definitely easy only.
Sir, as a DevOps engineer, we don't have to do this test and QA, right, sir?
No, we don't want to do.
We from GitHub, we through Jenkins, we build and we deploy. That's it, right, sir?
You will work with Jenkins.
Only Jenkins, right?
You will work with Jenkins. The JUnit and Selenium will be used by QA team only.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
but you will work with Jenkins. So if anything is needed to the testing team, you will monitor that work through Jenkins only, na?
Okay, okay,
Okay, so you, as of now, you just remember what is tool and for what purpose it will be used.
okay,
Okay,
sir.
so we discussed the Git. What purpose Git will be used? Git will be
Source
used
code.
to push our code to the
Yeah.
source code repository. That is nothing but GitHub. Docker is used for containerization. If you want to test our application in different environments, how to deploy our application in different operating systems. Okay. Similarly,
Okay.
Ansible, how to maintain our nodes. Now Jenkins. Once all the tools are covered, then we'll take one project. Okay, and there you will see what tool is playing what kind of role. Okay, there you will get the complete clarity. Now you are learning all these things in bits and pieces only. So once you work with a complete project from end to end, then you will understood, okay, Ansible will be used for this purpose and Jenkins will be doing this kind of jump. There you will get the complete clarity. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so as of now, Jenkins will be used to integrate different tools to organize all the phases of SDLC. Okay, so and one more benefit of the Jenkins is Jenkins will also have the same architecture as server and node. Okay, so when you install Jenkins in one machine, that machine is acts as a master. Okay, and it will invoke clients to perform its jobs. Once Jenkins is installed in one server, that will be called as a master server. We can attach other nodes to Jenkins. Okay, so those nodes are called as slaves. What this Jenkins will do is, whenever this Jenkins gets some work, it will redirect that work to different nodes so that the load will be distributed among different nodes, so that the main server will not take the whole burden. It will give the tasks, it will assign the tasks to its slaves. The slaves are nothing but the nodes which we connected to the Jenkins. Okay, so the Jenkins follows server and client architecture. Okay, so in which machine we install the Jenkins, that machine will act as a master, and Jenkins invoke clients to perform the jobs. Here clients are nothing but whatever the nodes that are connected to the master, that are called nodes. Here you can connect like this. This is Jenkins, right? These are different nodes. Okay, so these nodes will do the task. Okay, you will assign one task to this node. You will say that, okay, you have to do only build task only. whenever code comes here, build needs to be performed. That will be assigned to this node, and this node will delegate to the respective nodes for the build purpose. And once the build is completed, that will be returned to here, and it will give that information to the Jenkins. Okay, for testing purpose, you will assign one more node. This node will only take care of test purpose only. Whenever something is ready for testing, this will take care of that. Whatever the delegation that needs to be done, whatever the monitoring that needs to be done, that will be taken care by this node, because you are assigning this node as testing purpose. Like that, we can define what node needs to do what kind of task. Okay. And Jenkins can be supported by any OS. All OSs support Jenkins. You can install Jenkins in Windows, and also you can install Jenkins on Linux as well. As part of this course, we will be installing on both. As of now, we installed Git, Ansible, and Docker and everything on Linux only. Okay, but Jenkins, we can first will install on Windows and then we'll install on Linux. Okay, and one more thing is, you have to work, if you want to work with Jenkins, you have to work through web browser only. Okay, you are not going to execute any commands in the Linux. Okay, you have to open the browser. In that browser, you have to open the Jenkins, and there only you have to work. Okay, any doubts, guys? And Jenkins is also open source. We don't need to pay anything. So there are two versions are available, guys. One is enterprise edition, that is also called as Hudson, and the second one is open source, that is Jenkins only. Okay, so we have to install the Ansible paid version is also called as Ansible Tower. If you want to use that, that is the licensed version and the enterprise version. If you install Ansible Tower, you have to pay some money. Okay, but as a students, we no need to use Ansible Tower version. We can go for Ansible free. Okay, but if you want to work with Jenkins, you should have Java environment first. Okay, Java is mandatory. So without Java, Jenkins is not going to run. First, you have to install Java, and then you have to install Jenkins. Any doubts, guys, as of now? So this installation part will take complete 1 day, guys. It will take minimum of 1 hour, because we will be doing it in Windows and we will be doing it in Linux. When we install on Windows, we have to restart our machine to reflect the changes. Okay. See, in my machine, Java is available. Java version is 18. I have installed with Java 18 version. So I will give you one assignment, guys. Anyway, I will be showing it tomorrow. So what you have to do is, in your Windows machine, you have to install these 3 softwares by tomorrow. Will you do it on your own if I give you the instructions? Come on, guys, say something. Okay. So first one is Git. You have to install Git. How to install Git? Download Git. Git download. Okay. So you have to open the first one. Download. You just type Git. It will open like this. Download for Windows. Click here. Okay. 32-bit or 64-bit. Mostly you might be using 64-bit only. Okay. So 64-bit Git for Windows setup. You have to click on this. See, 47.10 MB. This will be opened. So you have to double click on .exe file, and you have to click on next, so that Git will be installed. Okay. And the second thing, Download JDK. Okay. JDK stands for Java Development Kit. See, here you will see Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. You select Windows here. You can select anything. Compressed archive installer or MSA installer. Better go for MSA installer. You have to download, click on download here. So that JDK will be download. This one will be installed. Okay. And after that, you have to open this and you have to click on next, next, next. You no need to do anything, guys. You just have to click on next. You know how to install the softwares, right? So say Java is also one kind of software only. You have to install it. You download it and you click on install it. First Git and then JDK. And after that, you have to install Jenkins. Okay, you can download Maven also. Maven download. Okay, download Apache Maven. See, system requirements. Maven 3.3 requires JDK 1.7 or above to execute. Okay, so you have to follow the same process. First install Git, then Java. Okay, so after installing Java also you can install Git. That is not a problem. So Git is not dependent on Java. First install Git and then go for Java. And after that, see Maven line link checksum signature tar.zip bin.zip tar.zip. See, you can select this one. Okay, so you can select this source zip archive. You can select this. Okay, download this. It will be downloaded, and after that you have to extract and no need to install. You will not get any exe file for Maven. Okay. See, in the downloads it is available. Apache Maven. You just extract here. This is zip file, right? We have to extract. Extract all. In which location you want to extract? I want to extract in the same location. Hello. అయిపోయింది.